On today's For the Record, it's Council Thursday, although this time it's more like Councillor-elect Thursday. We have three new faces who all won their elections on last Monday's municipal election. We have Councillor-elect Judi Partridge in Ward 15, Jason Farr in Ward 2, and Brenda Johnson in Ward 11. Now, not unlike the first day of school, let's have each of you tell us about your journey, which has ended you at City Hall. Judi, we'll start with you.
Thanks very much, Dave. My name is Judi Partridge. I am the Councillor-elect for Ward 15 in Flamborough, and it's been an interesting journey. I have worked in government affairs for the past 15 years and entered the first municipal election that I ran in was in 2006 and felt very fortunate to have 41% of the votes and decided to re-enter the election this time, having had so much fun in 2006, and I'm just absolutely delighted that I was successful this time.
We'll move over to Ward 2, a familiar face to Cable 14 viewers for the last, 15, 20 years you've been working here, Jay?
18 and a half there, Davey.
Wow. Tell us, well, for those of viewers who may have joined in the post-Farr era of Cable 14, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, you know what? Cable 14 plays a big role in why I am in the position I am in today, which is, of course, Councillor-elect, Ward 2. It's the community work, and it's a passion that I've had from a very young age that led to right through adulthood. Cable 14 not only connected me with the viewers via their television sets, but quite obviously in a number of ways to community events as hosts and volunteer for everyone from Camp Maple Leaf to mission services. The list is long as far as the volunteer commitment, and there was a reason for volunteering here for so many years. I have a passion for Hamilton, and I've taken that next step, sort of formalized what we've done here as a community on Cable 14 with all the volunteers that I've worked with over the course of some 18 years. But stepped it up to a position where I can probably give even more as a representative for downtown for Ward 2.
And we'll get to that as the interview goes on, but moving on to Ward 11 and Brenda Johnson, who actually unseated an incumbent. It wasn't an open ward, and we found out really late into the evening that Brenda Johnson was victorious in Ward 11. So Brenda, give us your story and tell us about your journey to City Hall.
Well, I've lived in Ward 11 for over 40 years, and I've advocated for this ward for over 20 years. And for the past 5 years, I've been pushed by a lot of people and asked by a lot of people, why aren't you doing the job on the inside if you can get this much done on the outside? There's been a lot of decision-making that's been done in Ward 11 that I didn't really agree with, a lot of residents didn't agree with, and there's a lot of more decisions that are going to be coming down the pipe. And well, I just thought it was time. So here I am, and I'm really grateful for the opportunity to serve the people of Ward 11.
All right, so you are the three new faces on City Council, and the one thing you hear over and over again in this city is that we need new blood down at City Hall. We need fresh faces. So, what are you going to bring in the next 4 years to the city of Hamilton and to City Hall? Jason, we'll start with you.
A new blood and a fresh face, Dave. You said it right there in the question. I'm going to bring fresh ideas. What I can safely say is I'll bring an existing rapport through, again, Cable 14, through For the Record these last few years and many years prior to. I have established relationships here at the TV station and in the community with existing councillors, and let's face it, many of the incumbents are back. Mitchell, the only unseated, and Brenda did a great job up there. And also city staff. A lot of people aren't aware of this, but for many years I ran the Soupy program, Culture and Rec, in my coming of age era, and it's just been an unbelievable experience, Dave, these past few days, going to and fro the hall and having these incredible reunions with what are some incredible people behind the scenes, helping newbies like us out and getting our fresh ideas going.
Judi, what is on your agenda for the next 4 years?
Well, thank you, Dave. Similar to Jason and to Brenda, I have spent many years working on community projects, advocating at City Hall, but my expertise is really in business and economic development as well as government affairs. And what I will bring to City Council, I hope, is the opportunity to be able to pull the folks together I'm certainly going to work very diligently to do that, to get to know all the councillors, to know their ward. I do have residents, or relatives I should say, living throughout the city of Hamilton, so I'm very familiar with Hamilton, and I have worked there for over 40 years as well. So I think we need to pull together as a council. We need to focus on what the city needs. And what I heard going door to door was people just want us to lower taxes, they want us to get spending back in line, and they want us to move this city forward. We do have a lot of big issues, but we have an amazing amount of opportunities, and we need to really take grasp of that.
Brenda, you've got this far. 4 more years ahead of you. What's on the plan?
Well, through my job at Environment Hamilton for the past 5 years, I've had the opportunity to work with a lot of the city staff, and especially with the councillors themselves. So I feel I have a really good rapport with a lot of the councillors. So that's been a real a foot in the door, if you will. So fresh eyes, as Jason has said, and again, as Judi said, when you bang on doors from one end of the ward to the other, you really get to understand the problems that are happening within Ward 11. And I think this is the same problem that's citywide. I think everybody is complaining about their taxes, and I think we need to start looking at some creative solutions on how to get those taxes down, or to at least start to manage them and to start stabilizing them. So I think that if everybody comes to that table with that common goal, I think that's a good start.
Absolutely, Brenda. It's taxes, jobs, poverty, not necessarily in that order, but I'm with you. Across the city, those are the big 3 issues during my campaign as well. Okay,
Jay, let's pick up on that. Let's talk some issues right now, because I've got a list of major issues that we were all talking about. So where do you stand on area rating?
You're asking me about area rating, Dave?
I'm asking you about area rating, and I will ask your counterparts as well about area rating.
Well, a complicated one, complicated enough that they passed the torch to the newbies, something that obviously we're going to look at closely as a new council. I love the idea of a citizens' jury, and I quite look forward to hearing what that citizens' jury has to say, how they've done thus far in their study on area rating. Bill Kelly's show spoke to some of the people involved in that jury a couple of weeks ago. I found that very enlightening. Chad Collins, actually, the incumbent there in Ward 5 on this very program not long ago, talked about some of the stickier points of area rating when he talked about boundaries, and how you may be in a boundary that maybe doesn't, as an entire boundary, see as many services as the one right next door to you, but given where you are in that boundary, you may be closer to the rec centers or the city services that the other boundary that is full of services has. So looking at boundaries is going to be significant. There's so much to learn still for me, and I'm sure my fellow new councillors here, councillor-elects here, with regards to that one issue, that it's something that I really look forward to digging into, though.
Okay, Brenda, over to you. Area rating.
Well, area rating was introduced to the city of Hamilton when we all amalgamated. The outside suburbs were given the area rating because it was a fair tax method. Most of, like Ward 11 and Judi's ward as well, were given area rating because we don't have the same services that the city of Hamilton does. We don't have full-time firefighting, we don't have the rec centers, and we don't have transit. We're starting to slowly incorporate those services into our areas, but we still don't have the same services the same as Hamilton does. So I attended some of those citizen forum groups, and we presented a position paper on that. And I don't feel it should be based on ward, as Jason said. It should be based on area. It shouldn't be based on rural versus urban, because the urban and rural maps don't jive as well. Because if you went by that, then my neighbor next door would be paying less taxes than I do, and we are receiving the same services. It's very complex, but at the same time it can be very simplified. So it should be based on the area that you live in, not on the ward you live in, and it should be based on the service you get and on the level of services that you get.
And area rating, over to you, Judi.
Well, I think one thing that we can all agree on is that the citizens of Hamilton can no longer afford any more tax hikes, and that's certainly something that I would not support. In terms of area rating, it has been a significant issue for Ward 12, 13, and 14, and 15, and we need to ensure that all taxpayers are treated fairly. Now, having said that, We are doing a review of area rating, and I think we do need to take a look at service delivery at a little bit of a deeper, as a deeper issue, and get some real figures that we can do some comparisons with. We really don't know if taking area rating away and changing the formula is going to be fair to everybody, and I think that's something that we absolutely need to move forward on, is getting past the whole amalgamation and area rating turmoil that we've been in. But certainly for myself, I would not support the area rating being completely taken away and tax hikes to any of the rural areas.
I got less than a minute in this segment, but you did say the word amalgamation, and so very quickly as we round out this segment and go to break, should there be a review of amalgamation? Judi.
Yes, I supported that during my campaign, and I heard it going door to door. There are some folks who are focused on de-amalgamation. There has never been a business plan put forward with any kind of financial information to say whether that would be the best for us. I don't believe it will be. I am hearing, though, that we really do need to take a look at amalgamation. It's been 10 years since we amalgamated, and we're still in the same turmoil. We need to do a review, and we need to move forward on it.
Okay, Jason, review of amalgamation.
Well, you know, that issue worked well for Mayor-elect Bob Bertina.
Certainly did.
I am right with you, Judi. We need to take a look at a review. It's 10 years. Any major project should see a regular review, maybe even every 5 years. In this case, we're long overdue, and it's something that I'm certain Mayor-elect Bob Bertina is going to work on right away.
Brenda.
I believe that when amalgamation was introduced, that there was a 10-year review that was put into that contract. And what I've said on the campaign trail, that if the province was going to give us lots and lots of money to de-amalgamate, I would be on that train. But if the province wasn't willing to come to the table with the money, then we're just going to have to learn to work together and iron out the issues that have been brought forward with amalgamation.
And we'll get to more issues in just a moment on For the Record, continuing with 3 new councillors in just a moment.